Before you toss another grocery item into your Walmart cart this week, you might want to stop for just a second. Several everyday foods that millions of Americans buy without a second thought are quietly becoming more expensive, shrinking in size, or disappearing from store shelves altogether. The surprising part? Walmart isn't putting up warning signs, and most shoppers won't realize what's happening until their favorite products are suddenly gone. Today, we're counting down 11 grocery items facing major changes, along with a few smart shopping strategies that could save your family hundreds of dollars before prices climb even higher. Let's start with one of the most common foods in every American kitchen. Number 1. Ground beef. Ground beef has always been one of the most dependable items in an American grocery cart. From burgers and tacos to spaghetti, chili, meatloaf, and casseroles, it's a staple that millions of families rely on every single week. But if you felt like the price keeps climbing every time you visit Walmart, you're not imagining it. This time, the problem goes much deeper than temporary inflation. The U.S. cattle herd has fallen to its lowest level in more than 60 years, according to recent government data. At the same time, the number of calves entering the supply chain has also dropped to historic lows, meaning there simply aren't enough animals to replace the shrinking herd anytime soon. One factor, adding even more pressure, is the suspension of cattle imports from parts of Mexico after officials detected the spread of the New World screwworm, a dangerous parasite that threatens livestock. To protect American ranches, stricter import restrictions were put in place, reducing the number of feeder cattle entering the U.S. The result is a supply shortage that can't be solved overnight. Unlike growing vegetables or harvesting crops, raising cattle takes years. Even if ranchers begin expanding their herds today, it will take a long time before those animals reach market weight. That's why many agricultural experts believe beef prices could remain elevated for the next year or two. For families trying to stretch their grocery budget, the smartest strategy isn't to stop buying beef altogether, it's to buy more efficiently. Whenever family-size packs go on sale, they're usually much cheaper per pound than the smaller trays displayed beside them. Once you get home, divide the meat into meal-sized portions, seal each one in freezer bags, remove as much air as possible, and freeze them immediately. Properly stored ground beef can maintain excellent quality for 4 to 6 months, giving you plenty of flex. Number 2. Coffee. For millions of Americans, the day doesn't truly begin until that first cup of coffee. Whether it's a quick mug before work or a fresh pot shared with family on the weekend, coffee has become more than a beverage. It's a daily routine. Unfortunately, that routine is becoming increasingly expensive. Much of the world's premium coffee comes from Brazil, the largest coffee producer on the planet. Over the past few years, severe droughts and unpredictable weather have reduced harvests, especially for high-quality Arabica beans. At the same time, global coffee inventories have fallen to some of their lowest levels in decades, leaving less supply available just as demand continues to grow. The result has been a roller coaster of price increases. Although coffee prices occasionally ease for short periods, industry experts warn that the market remains highly unstable. Changes in weather, transportation costs, or international trade can quickly send prices climbing again. Most shoppers don't notice the warning signs at first. Walk into Walmart today, and the coffee aisle still looks well stocked. But look more carefully, and you'll often see fewer large family-size bags or premium specialty blends than you did a year ago. That's because supermarkets frequently reduce orders for their more expensive coffee varieties first, while keeping their best-selling mainstream brands fully stocked to avoid making shortages obvious. To the average shopper, nothing seems different. Behind the scenes, however, selection is quietly shrinking. If your household goes through coffee every week, there's a simple way to stay ahead of future price increases. Whenever your favorite brand goes on sale, consider buying a few extra bags instead of just one. To keep it fresh, divide the coffee into airtight containers or vacuum-sealed bags before placing them in the freezer. Properly stored coffee retains its flavor remarkably well, allowing you to enjoy fresh-tasting coffee months later while avoiding future price hikes. For a family that drinks coffee every day, purchasing during sales instead of waiting until the pantry is empty can easily save well over $100 over the course of a year. Sometimes the smartest grocery strategy isn't finding a lower price. It's buying before everyone else is forced to pay the higher one. And now, Number 3. Pure unsalted butter. If you enjoy baking at home, this next change could end up costing you more than you expect. At first glance, Walmart's dairy section still looks fully stocked. The butter shelves are full, the coolers are packed, and everything seems perfectly normal. But take a closer look. You may notice more margarine, butter blends, and unfamiliar brands filling the shelves, while the premium unsalted butter you've relied on for years is becoming harder to find. There's a reason for that. America's dairy industry has been facing a gradual decline in its dairy cow population. With less raw milk available, processing plants have to make difficult decisions about where that milk goes. Fresh milk and cheese usually take priority because they're produced and sold much faster. Butter, especially premium unsalted butter, often moves lower on the list. As a result, manufacturers are producing fewer premium butter products while expanding items that generate higher profit margins, such as salted butter, butter spreads, and margarine. For the average shopper, the dairy case still appears full, but the selection is slowly changing. This matters even more if you bake regularly. Unsalted butter gives you complete control over the flavor of cakes, cookies, pastries, and homemade bread. Margarine and butter substitutes simply don't deliver the same texture, richness, or consistency, no matter how much money they save at checkout. Fortunately, butter has one major advantage over many other dairy products. It freezes exceptionally well. Properly wrapped butter can stay in the freezer for up to a year with very little loss in flavor or quality. Once thawed in the refrigerator, most people can't even tell the difference. That's why experienced home bakers often buy several packages whenever butter goes on sale. Warehouse stores like Costco and Sam's Club frequently offer multi-pack discounts that lower the cost per pound significantly. Portion the butter into freezer bags, label the date, and you'll have a reliable supply ready whenever you need it. It's a simple strategy that not only saves money, but also protects you from the sharp price increases that typically. Number 4. Breakfast cereal. Breakfast cereal has long been one of the easiest items to grab during a Walmart shopping trip. You walk down the aisle, spot your family's favorite box, toss it into the cart, and move on without giving it another thought. But that familiar routine is beginning to change. Over the past year, cereal sales across the U.S. have slowed as more families cut back on spending or switched to less expensive breakfast options. In response, major manufacturers have started trimming their product lines, quietly removing slower-selling flavors from store shelves. The result? The cereal aisle may still look full, but the variety is shrinking. Several limited edition flavors and specialty versions have already been discontinued, while many stores now dedicate more shelf space to their best-selling products, instead of carrying a wider selection. For shoppers, that means one frustrating experience. You arrive expecting to buy your favorite cereal, only to discover it's been replaced by another flavor, or it's gone altogether. Even when your favorite brand is still available, there's another detail worth checking. Pick up the box and compare the net weight. Some cereal packages have become slightly smaller, while maintaining nearly the same retail price. Unless you compare the ounces printed on the label, it's easy to miss that you're paying more for less cereal than you were just a year ago. For parents, this can be especially frustrating. Children often become attached to one specific cereal, and once it's discontinued, finding a replacement isn't always easy. Fortunately, cereal has one major advantage. Because it's shelf-stable, unopened boxes stay fresh for a long time when stored in a cool, dry pantry. If you find your family's favorite cereal on sale, especially at warehouse stores like Sam's Club or Costco, it often makes sense to buy several boxes while they're still available. Not only can you save money by purchasing at bulk prices, but you'll also avoid the disappointment of returning to Walmart a few weeks later, only to discover your favorite variety has quietly disappeared. Number 5. Extra virgin olive oil. If you cook with extra virgin olive oil on a regular basis, you may have noticed something confusing. News reports say olive harvests in Europe have improved after several difficult years, yet the price at Walmart doesn't seem to be falling. So what's really going on? The answer has very little to do with the olive trees themselves. Spain and Italy, two of the world's largest olive oil producers, actually enjoyed much healthier harvests recently, helping wholesale prices across Europe move lower. Under normal circumstances, that should have translated into cheaper bottles on American shelves. But there's another factor most shoppers never think about: transportation. Earlier this year, rising tensions in the Middle East disrupted several major shipping routes. Many cargo vessels were forced to take longer, more expensive routes to reach North America, increasing fuel costs, delivery times, and overall transportation expenses. Add import tariffs and higher distribution costs, and suddenly those savings from better harvests disappear before the bottles even arrive at Walmart. That's why many shoppers are puzzled. The farms are producing more olive oil, yet the price in the grocery aisle remains stubbornly high. Industry analysts are also watching next year's crop closely. While this season improved, some growers have already reported fewer blossoms developing for the upcoming harvest, raising concerns that production could tighten again if weather conditions become unfavorable. If your family uses olive oil every week, now may be one of the better times to buy the larger bottle instead of several smaller ones. Large containers almost always cost less per ounce, and high-quality extra virgin olive oil can easily stay fresh for well over a year when stored properly. The key is simple. Keep it in a cool, dark cabinet away from direct sunlight and heat. There's no need to refrigerate it, and avoiding temperature swings helps preserve both flavor and quality. Buying one large bottle today could save multiple trips to the store and potentially protect you from paying higher prices later if shipping costs continue rising. But olive oil isn't the only pantry item quietly changing. The next product is sitting on breakfast tables across America, and several of the most recognizable varieties have already disappeared without many shoppers even realizing it. Number 6. Dark chocolate and pure cocoa powder. If you've been avoiding dark chocolate because you've heard cocoa prices have gone through the roof, here's some unexpected news. The market has changed dramatically. After 2 years of record-breaking highs caused by droughts across West Africa, the region responsible for producing most of the world's cocoa beans, global cocoa prices have fallen sharply. In fact, they've dropped by more than 70% from their peak. So why haven't chocolate bars suddenly become cheaper? The answer lies in how food companies operate. When cocoa prices exploded, many manufacturers quietly reformulated their products. Premium dark chocolate bars became more expensive to make. So companies reduced production, simplified their product lines, and in some cases lowered the amount of real cocoa in their recipes to control costs. Now that cocoa prices are easing, those decisions can't be reversed overnight. Production contracts were signed months in advance, packaging was redesigned, and retailers already adjusted the products they keep on the shelves. That's why many shoppers still struggle to find the same premium dark chocolate they used to buy. Here's a simple trick that can tell you whether your favorite chocolate has changed. Turn the package over and check the cocoa percentage. If it's noticeably lower than it was before, chances are the recipe was quietly adjusted during the period of higher cocoa costs. The front of the package may look exactly the same, but what's inside could be very different. If you enjoy baking, making hot chocolate, or adding cocoa to smoothies, there's an even better option. Buy pure cocoa powder instead of relying on chocolate bars. Not only does cocoa powder usually cost less per serving, but it's also far more versatile. You can use exactly the amount you need without wasting the rest of a chocolate bar, and it stores extremely well in a cool, dry pantry for many months. For many families, keeping a container of quality cocoa powder on hand is actually a smarter long-term value than repeatedly buying individual chocolate bars. It's one of those pantry staples that often becomes more useful the longer you keep it. But while cocoa prices are finally moving in the right direction, the next grocery item is number 7, 100% pure orange juice. If you've walked through Walmart's beverage aisle recently, you may have noticed something unusual. The shelves still look full, but many of the familiar bottles of 100% pure orange juice are slowly being replaced by juice blends, orange-flavored drinks, or products labeled as made with juice. That's not happening by accident. The supply of real orange juice has been under pressure for years. Florida's citrus industry continues to battle citrus greening disease, an infection that has devastated orange groves and dramatically reduced fruit production. At the same time, Brazil, the world's largest exporter of orange juice concentrate, has struggled through severe drought conditions that cut harvests and tightened global supply. When raw ingredients become scarce, retailers naturally prioritize the products that generate the highest profit. Instead of giving premium shelf space to expensive 100% juice, many stores are expanding their own private label blends or juice cocktails, which cost less to produce while offering better margins. As a result, shoppers who prefer pure orange juice are finding fewer options every time they visit the store. Here's a smart alternative that many people completely overlook. Head to the freezer section. Tucked away near the frozen fruit, you'll often find frozen orange juice concentrate. It doesn't get nearly as much attention as the refrigerated bottles, but it can be one of the best values in the entire grocery department. Simply mix it with water, and you'll get several servings of real orange juice at a much lower cost per glass. Even better, it has a long freezer life, so you won't have to worry about running out when shelves suddenly look empty or prices spike again. If your family drinks orange juice every morning, switching to concentrate can save a surprising amount of money over the course of a year without sacrificing flavor. But here's where things get even more surprising. The next grocery item is moving in the exact opposite direction. After years of record-breaking price increases, the raw ingredient has suddenly become much cheaper. Yet Walmart shoppers still aren't seeing the savings where it matters most. Number 8. Canned tuna and seafood. For decades, canned tuna has been one of the smartest grocery purchases you could make. It's affordable, packed with protein, lasts for years in the pantry, and can be turned into everything from sandwiches to pasta salads in just a few minutes. But behind the scenes, this everyday staple is beginning to face growing pressure. The biggest problem isn't that tuna is disappearing overnight. Instead, the middle of the market, the brands most American families buy, is slowly being squeezed from both directions. Fishing operations are dealing with higher fuel costs, labor expenses, and stricter regulations, making it more expensive to catch and process seafood. At the same time, shoppers looking to save money are trading down to lower-priced brands. That creates a domino effect. As more people switch to budget options, those lower-cost products begin selling out faster. Eventually, even the cheapest cans become harder to find or start creeping up in price themselves. By the time most shoppers notice, their usual brand has already disappeared from the shelf, leaving only unfamiliar labels they've never considered buying before. Here's another detail many people overlook. Take a quick look at the bottom of the can. That's where you'll usually find the country of origin, or where the fish was processed. If your favorite brand suddenly changes sourcing regions, the packaging may stay exactly the same, but the texture, flavor, and quality of the tuna inside can be noticeably different. It's a small change that many consumers don't realize until after opening the can. Despite these challenges, canned tuna remains one of the most affordable protein sources available. Pound for pound, it still costs far less than most fresh meat, making it an excellent value for families trying to stretch their grocery budget. Instead of panic buying, consider building your pantry gradually. Each time you shop, add 2 or 3 extra cans of tuna or canned salmon to your cart. Over several weeks, you'll create a reliable backup supply without spending a large amount all at once. Not only does this help protect your grocery budget if prices continue rising, but it also means you'll always have a quick, healthy meal ready whenever you need one. And while canned seafood is becoming more unpredictable, another breakfast favorite is quietly disappearing from Walmart shelves for an entirely different reason. If your morning always starts with a glass of orange. Number 9. Frozen vegetables. Walk through Walmart's freezer aisle, and everything appears perfectly normal. Glass doors are packed with colorful bags of vegetables. Every shelf looks full. At first glance, you'd never suspect there's a problem. But look a little closer. You may notice that while 1 or 2 varieties are stacked from top to bottom, several others have quietly disappeared altogether. That's exactly what happened to one Walmart shopper recently. She stopped to grab her usual mixed vegetable blend for homemade soup, only to find row after row of frozen sweet corn taking its place. From a distance, the freezer looked completely stocked. Up close, her favorite product had vanished without explanation. This isn't just a Walmart issue. It's happening throughout the food supply chain. Earlier this year, severe freezes damaged large sections of vegetable crops in several growing regions, reducing harvests for many products. When processors receive fewer vegetables, they focus on producing their biggest sellers first, items like broccoli, peas, corn, and green beans. Lower demand blends and specialty mixes are often the first products to be discontinued or temporarily suspended. Most shoppers won't notice until they specifically need one of those missing varieties. That's why many experienced bargain shoppers are stocking up on basic frozen vegetables while prices remain reasonable. Frozen broccoli, peas, carrots, green beans, and corn have excellent shelf life and can stay fresh in the freezer for months. They also make it much easier to prepare quick meals without relying on expensive frozen dinners or takeout. In many cases, cooking with frozen vegetables costs only a fraction of buying ready-made microwave meals, while giving you far more servings for the same money. If your freezer has some extra space, this is a good time to organize it and keep a small backup supply of the vegetables your family actually uses. That way, if shortages become more noticeable later in the year, you won't be forced to buy whatever happens to be left, or pay premium prices for substitute products. And while frozen vegetables are becoming harder to find in certain varieties, another pantry staple is quietly facing pressure. Number 10. pistachios and almonds. If your family regularly buys those big bags of pistachios or almonds from Walmart, you may want to take a closer look the next time you're in the snack aisle. The price tag may look almost identical to what you paid a few months ago, but there's a good chance you're getting less for your money. This is one of the clearest examples of what economists call shrinkflation. Instead of raising prices and risking customer complaints, manufacturers quietly reduce the amount inside the package while keeping the sticker on the shelf nearly the same. Many shoppers never notice. One Walmart customer recently realized her usual bag of almonds felt lighter than normal. At first, she assumed she was imagining things, but after comparing it with an older bag she still had at home, the difference was obvious. The new package contained noticeably less product, even though the shelf price hadn't changed. So what's causing it? The answer starts in California's Central Valley, where nearly all of America's almonds and pistachios are grown. Years of water restrictions, higher labor costs, and increasing farming expenses have made these premium nuts much more expensive to produce. Retailers know shoppers react strongly to higher prices, so many brands have chosen another strategy: reduce the quantity instead of increasing the price. The package looks familiar. The logo hasn't changed, but ounce for ounce, you're paying more than before. Here's another mistake many shoppers make. They assume buying the largest bag automatically saves money. But if your family can't finish it within a month or two, those nuts can begin losing flavor and freshness, especially once opened. A smarter strategy is to buy medium-sized bags whenever Walmart, Aldi, or Dollar Tree runs a good sale. Once you get home, divide them into airtight freezer bags and freeze them immediately. Frozen almonds and pistachios stay fresh for months, maintain their crunch, and allow you to lock in today's price before the next round of shrinkflation quietly arrives. Sometimes the biggest price increases aren't printed on the shelf at all. They're hidden inside the package. And speaking of hidden, number 11, bananas and fresh produce. Bananas have always been one of Walmart's biggest bargains. For years, they were so inexpensive that most shoppers never even looked at the price tag. They simply tossed a bunch into the cart and kept moving. But that quiet bargain is starting to disappear. Recently, Walmart executives publicly acknowledged that banana prices are rising, something rarely mentioned unless the company expects the increase to continue. The reason has little to do with bad weather. Instead, it's tied to higher import costs affecting major suppliers from Costa Rica, Colombia, and Peru, where much of America's bananas originate. Unlike canned goods or boxed snacks, bananas can't be quietly downsized. Walmart can't shrink the fruit the way manufacturers shrink cereal boxes or chip bags. The only option is raising the price shoppers see on the shelf. At first glance, paying a few extra cents for each banana doesn't seem like much, but for families buying bananas every week, those small increases quietly add up over an entire year. Ironically, another popular produce item is moving in the opposite direction. Avocados have become noticeably cheaper, thanks to stronger harvests from Mexico. After last year's supply concerns eased, that creates an unusual opportunity for shoppers. Instead of buying expensive pre-made guacamole from the deli, consider making your own while avocado prices remain low. You can mash ripe avocados with lime juice, portion them into freezer bags, and store them for weeks. It's a simple way to enjoy restaurant-quality guacamole while locking in today's lower prices before market conditions change again. Produce markets can shift quickly. Today's bargain can easily become next month's shortage. And if you think produce is unpredictable, wait until you see what's quietly happening to one of America's favorite healthy snacks. As you've seen today, not every grocery item at Walmart is moving in the same direction. Some products are quietly becoming more expensive, some are shrinking in size, and others are slowly disappearing altogether. The good news is that you don't need to panic or fill your garage with groceries. Instead, focus on the products your family uses every week. Buying strategically during sales, freezing foods that store well, and paying closer attention to package sizes can save you far more money than chasing coupons alone. A little planning today can help you avoid paying much higher prices tomorrow. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 11 grocery items has become noticeably more expensive in your area? Or have you spotted another Walmart